What is going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. My name is Justin, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. Man, oh man, this week flew by. And I think it's because I took off work on Monday, Tuesday. So now yesterday felt like Monday, and then I'm like, oh, it's already Wednesday, new comic book day, and then boom, we're here Thursday, aka Friday Eve. So Tag Team Thursday. If you guys aren't already aware, this is Tag Team Thursday. Part of it, I am the closer, but it didn't start here. The party started over on Raw, just Rican and his comics channel. I put his information in the description below. From there, we jumped over to John's Comics with Kids, Tony Old Wolf 65, and Brandon ComixKings, who was just live just a few moments ago. So make sure you're following the crew as we do this every Thursday at 6:30 is the kickoff, and it's been a lot of fun. So I will say, I think next Thursday, I'm going to have to take off because my girlfriend and I are actually going away. We're going to a casino for the first time since this whole crazy pandemic. So I'm really excited for that. So I will not be around for Tag Team Thursday next week. So I just want to put that out there right now. But hey, if you're watching this, whether it's live right now or if you're just here, catching the replay, appreciate you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and make sure you hit that little bell notification so you can be notified of all of the videos that I have coming out each and every week, including some of these crazy live streams that I've been putting together. So yeah, just having a lot of fun. So if you guys missed, I put out another video earlier this morning, technically last night, like midnight, on both my Instagram and on YouTube. I did my first YouTube, what do they call it? YouTube short. I did my first one of those. And I basically put out that question of like, if you could only buy 3 comic books for New Comic Book Day, what would those 3 comic books be? And the reason I had brought this question up in this kind of, challenge is the fact that I am trying to figure out a way to not buy so many books, at least not physically, because I am running out of room. So with that, I've been trying to strategize and figure new ways out. And so one of the ways I came up with is I'm going to try to cut back. It still doesn't solve my problem with the books that I have right now. Those I might have to do some sort of sale of some sort, or I don't know, a massive giveaway or something like that. But yeah, so anyways, it was a lot of fun to kind of show off some of the books that I picked up, because I only bought 3, and then it was awesome to hear from the community to see what they would choose if they only picked 3 books. So I'm curious. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below if you have only 3 books from just this week of new comic books. If you could only choose 3 titles, what would those titles be? Or just 3 books in general. You'll find out I actually only picked up 2 titles, one of them being 2 books, just because I'm a sucker for beautiful covers. So I had to get an A and B for one of them. And that's not to say I do buy digital stuff. You guys know that. But let me get into the chat real quick. We got 18 people hanging out with us, and then we will dive into my top books of the week, the books that I've looked forward to and that I already started reading that I would recommend. I actually think I have 1 or 2 that we'll have to talk a little bit about, because I don't know if I would recommend per se, but I will mention them here as well. So without further ado, I want to say hello to Comic Talk Weekly. What is going on, Phil? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. He's got the popcorn ready and everything. Love it, love it, love it. And that's his other account, Phil. And Phil, good to see you, man. Appreciate you. We got Big Herm in the house. Station, enter the Sandman. That is correct, my friend. PJ King also hanging out with us. I think it's interesting that when Alex Correa is the manager, the Sox win. It pays dividends to have a cheating manager. It didn't take Correa to Alex Cora long to figure out the buzzing and banging. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. Hey, we had a nice win yesterday, although we gave a couple points back, but that's okay. We'll see how we do tonight. We got my man Flash by Night in the house. Station, brother, good to see you. Enter the Sandman. Sheena, what's going on? Sheena Station, good to see you as well. And we got Todd Christian in the house. We got Copy 801 in the house. We got TM Nerdy Station, my friend. We got Jason Claiming Comics hanging out with you earlier today. Appreciate you if you guys caught my premiered video that I put out. I've been putting them out every Thursday at 12:30 Eastern, talking about the top 10 books of next week's new comic books, the ones that I'm excited for. Whether it's digital or physically buying them. But yeah, so appreciate you hanging out there. We got John's Comics with Kids in the house. Just mentioned him earlier. That's right. Time for the closer. I am going to try to keep this somewhat tight of time, because I'm really excited. I should give a shout out to JP Collects. Speaking of John here, because me, John, and Comic Man Andy are going to be over on JP Collects channel tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, so not an hour and a half from now. And we're going to be talking about Ascender, volumes 2 and 3, which I'm really excited for because we have just been loving that series, or at least I have. I'm sure the guys have too, but I'm very curious where they stand with this this newer book that we've been reading. So let's see, we got Sparks Comics in the house, and shout out to Sparks Jeremy. He is going to be my comic collector origins interview this Saturday at 2:00 Eastern. So shout out to Sparks. Really excited to have him on the channel and collaborate and get to know a little bit more about Jeremy, Sparks Comics. So definitely check that out at 2:00 this Saturday. We got Brandon ComixKings in the house, who was just live before me. Good to see you, Brandon. We got Dale of Suspense. What's going on, Dale? Station, brother, station. Let's see. Tag team back again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Perry Comics in the house. What is going on? I don't think I've ever seen Perry not put little emoji eyes before as a first greeting. That is, I'm all thrown off, man. Hola, my friend. Used to always seeing the eyeballs that Perry puts out there. Good to see you, though. Thanks for hanging out. We got Phil Ailing in the house as well, saying hello, all. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Appreciate that. Let's see. I think I'm getting to everybody here. We got Matt Woods in the house. What's going on, Matt? Good to see you, my friend. Hello. Oh, I got a recording going. Here we go. Let's see. What else? Or who else? I think I got everybody. All right. So if I missed you, I apologize. Keep it up in the chat and I will make sure to highlight you. But I do want to get into some of these books. So without further ado, let's start off with what I got going. And I see J2 in the house. What's going on? Jay Ramirez, my man. All right. So first book up I want to talk a little bit about, without giving too many spoilers away. This is Geiger issue number 3. And man, oh man, some deep stuff has happened in this book in terms of getting a better understanding of Geiger as a character and his family, and kind of some of the background or history of the in-between, like the time in which he had turned into what is known as the Glowing Man, and then the current day. So really interesting stuff. We get a little bit more information about the king from Vegas, who is like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. So, you know, kind of a brat, kind of king. So really interesting stuff. And I really enjoyed this issue. What's his name? Jeff Johns. He's doing a tremendous job here with this book. And it's only 3 issues in, and the world building is just getting better and better. So I'm really looking forward to issue number 4 when that comes out. If you guys haven't read this, I do recommend it. It is, you know, kind of like, I've said this before, but basically like Ghost Rider meets Rambo, you know, this kind of guy who has these, radiation doesn't affect him. The world, you know, a lot of the world has died off, and in this futuristic world, and you have to wear a suit, a hazmat suit of some sort. Otherwise, you will, you know, die from the radiation. So it's really good, and I do recommend it. So that is one of my picks of the week. Let's see, what's the next one? And I saw we had Rod in here. What's going on? Just a Rican and his comics. We got Cookie in the house. What is going on? Just a little podcast. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. Copy says Geiger is great. Absolutely. I do agree. It's very good. Really enjoying it. All right. Next book up that I want to talk a little bit about here is, all right. Have you guys read this book? I'm just going to put this out here now. Freak Snow. Anybody read this book? I don't know how I feel about this book. It's, I think the best way to put it is that it's not for me. I'm curious what you guys think. It sounded really cool. I had it in my top 10 from last week when I was looking forward to it. I bought the digital copy on Comixology for $1.99, and the artwork, man, I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into it. One thing I did like about this, and I do always like to try to focus on the things that I like when I'm talking about a book. I did like the layout of how the dialogue had been put. The dialogue was like written like scribble almost, and there were sections of this book that the dialogue were like, it was like the letters are really big and took up like random parts of the pages, and it looked really interesting. So I like the story. Like I might have to go through it again to kind of read it. I just wasn't that big of a fan of some of the art. I don't know. There were some parts where I'm like, okay, this artwork goes good with this. And then there was other parts where I just, it you know, threw me off a bit, but really interesting stuff. And I see here, let's see, Rod said he had an interview with the writer. That's cool. Very cool for that. I missed that. I have to go check that out. Let's see. He also said, Yeah, Sparks says it is crazy. Kevin said it peeks into his mind. It's a peek. Oh, it's a peek into his mind. Okay, yeah, man. I mean, it's all over the place. I really don't know how to even describe it otherwise. That's fair. Jason saying it's an acquired taste. But I'm with it. Nice. All right. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm not hating on the book. I bought it. I just don't know if it's going to be something I'll be picking up again, or if it's something I have to wait for trade. It was a fairly fast read. A lot is going on in it, and I wanted to say that the summary for it says a frozen apocalyptic story in the spirit of Mad Max, Fallout, and Borderlands meet Tarantino. So that really got my attention for this book, and I can see that. I do see parts of that. It is very psychedelic. I mean, I guess it's fair. It says, yeah, it begins with Bernie, a psychedelic addict surviving in a glacial wasteland. So yeah, because this guy's like talking to like his beer can, and he's talking to like a robot, and he has to like drink beer in order to like become trippy and all this stuff. So it's really interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. You guys are talking about the interviews you guys have done. That kind of makes it a little more intriguing for me. If you guys have a connection to the writer, maybe it is, something to continue to give it a shot. But maybe for me, maybe it's worth just holding on and finishing it out through trade. But anyways, we'll see how it is. I did want to mention it though, because that was part of my top 10. And I was talking to Eric Durant a little bit about it. He said that he picked it up on one of my recommendations. So I'm curious, where he stands with it, and all of you. I see a lot of different great comments. So Sparks, absolutely. So that was one thing that really stood out to me that I really enjoyed was the lettering of how the dialogue was. It looked really, really cool. And if I could pull up maybe just a part here without really spoiling anything. There's just like crazy dialogue everywhere. And it actually like ties into a lot of the story. You can see like some of it, like it's really like handwritten, the dialogue, which is cool. And all these like kabooms and stuff are just kind of everywhere. So there was another scene, but I can't find it there. That I really liked though. That's only the beginning. Oh, right here. And there is some cursing there, but just love how it's like all over the place. As he's diving into this cave. So I mean, there are definitely, I did enjoy parts of it for sure. I think I just might have to do it on a trade for the rest of the way. Let's see. All right, next book up that I want to talk about here. Let me just back out of this. The other two, I can just dive right into this. So here's what I'm going to do. So as part of my, only buying 3 books a week. So one of the books was Bunny Mask, and wow, this book right here, let me just say, I loved this book. It was super creepy. I was a little confused at first. Essentially this entire thing is about this police officer who had gone through a traumatic experience and to the point where it's a mystery as to how he escaped it. The beginning kind of shows this whole experience, and then it kind of flashes forward to like years later when he's kind of out of it and better again, because he was essentially attacked. But he had basically was trapped in this cave in the beginning by this psychopath who was making him dig in this cave. And it's really weird. And then Bunny Mask here essentially rescues him. Well, this is all in the beginning, so I'm not spoiling anything. But they don't have any recollection of this cave or of Bunny Mask. And as of to the rest of the world, they think he like dreamed this up or made it up, or maybe he was drugged or whatever. And but as he lives the rest of his life, he gets some confirmation of remembering some things that happened. So I don't know, very trippy, very creepy, like dark and creepy. So I really enjoyed it, and I will definitely be reading more of this because, well, of course, it's Aftershock issue number 1. You guys know how I feel about Aftershock. I'm buying all the Aftershocks. So yeah, what a great cover. Definitely enjoyed that. And now that we know a little bit more about Bunny Mask, it's kind of makes it a little better in terms of just understanding why we're looking at Bunny Mask the way we are. I wasn't expecting for Bunny Mask to hit that well. Creepy as shit. Yeah, Jason, exactly. I did have a little doubt. And I really have no excuse as to why, other than, I don't know, maybe the artwork or just the name, the fact that the title is called Bunny Mask. I'm like, where's this going? What's this about? Is this like this creature that looks like it eats people or something, but that, it's certainly not the case. So anyways, if you guys are not reading it, I would say pick it up or wait and pick it up in trade. But Aftershock issue number ones, you know my rule. My rule is to always pick up issue number ones. So I had to get it. Buddy Mask was great. It ended with a nice cliffhanger too. Yeah, agreed, Sparks. Agreed. Louis Logic's in the house. What's going on, Louis? Good to see you. Back issue, Paul hanging out as well. Buddy Mask was a interesting read. The ending, I know it's pretty wild stuff for sure. And Rod here saying he got the variant. Very nice. I know there were a lot of different covers and variants out, so I just stuck with the cover A. But yeah, a lot of cool artwork. All right, and then the last book that I want to talk about here, as we are at about 15 and a half minutes. That's not too bad. I was going to keep it short today. This was my book 2 and book 3 that I was talking about, where if you could only buy 3 comic books on New Comic Book Day, what would those 3 books be? And that's what I did. So Bunny Mask was the first one, and the second 2, as I shared in a previous video, second 2 were Eve issue number 2, cover A, and Eve issue number 2, cover B. This is Dan Mora. I actually said Andolfo earlier, but this is Dan Mora, which of course, no wonder why I'm in love with it. I would like to get the Virgin variant if I can get my hands on that, but so far everywhere has been sold out. But it is yeah, I am loving this series altogether. I love the artwork, I love the concept. I just love these journeys of like as a little kid having this mission to save the world kind of thing, like Middle West kind of. So just really enjoying that right now. Same with like Sweet Tooth, which I just got the compendium for. So I don't know, I'm just in the mood for that kind of stuff right now. That storytelling, that kind of adventure, as a so someone taking on the world and trying to save the world. So really enjoying that. Yeah, I see Travis saying I got the Dan Mora cover as well. It is so beautiful. I agree, my friend. Cookie, man, I definitely recommend getting issue number 1. It is really cool. And if I can intrigue you in any way, I will say this is the description I used for this book, the first issue, or the concept in general, is that it's about this little girl who is living in this kind of paradise with her dad. No one else is around. They're on this island, beautiful island. And the dad is like a scientist. And one day, this is all in the beginning of issue 1. One day he's like, I think you're ready now. I think you're ready to move on to what's next. And she's only like 11 years old. And she's like, what are you talking about, Dad? He's like, I'm going to show you. And he sends her to this kind of like a laboratory doorway entrance or whatever, and she goes in, and essentially she wakes up. Think of like the Matrix. I that was my description that I used. Think of the Matrix, how you like wake up from something, from or how you in the Matrix, how you wake up from the real world to be in the real world. Like your mind, you find out this whole time that your body has been asleep, and that your mind has just been living the entire time. That was kind of how this kicked off, in a way. And then she finds out that there's this teddy bear robot who is there to kind of help guide her to what she needs to do next. And she finds out that the world that she's really living in is completely destroyed, and that there was these massive floods that kind of destroyed the earth, and a lot of people didn't survive. And it's up to her to do 2 things. 1, save the world, and 2, save her dad, who has left her kind of like clues on how to rescue him. So it's really interesting. So I don't know if that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will, but this is really good stuff. The writer Victor Lavelle and Jo Ming Young is doing the artwork for this, and absolutely loving it. And there's the Dan Mora cover again. Hopefully I can get a Virgin variant, but I'm loving this. I don't know. I think it's like 5 issues. It's a Boom Studios. I don't know if it's ongoing or what, but really loving this. Hey, we got Gabby in the house. What's going on, California Blend? Good to see you. Who else we got? We got Bobby in the house. Station brother. Let's see. Louis Logic says that I was a little disappointed with Eve too, but I'm still all in. So I will say, I know. Louis, I know that you're a fan of Eve. You're talking about it all as if issue 1 was out. I remember you constantly bringing it up, and I was right there with you. I could see where this kind of can turn you a little bit. I think though that it's an important issue as we learn a lot more about another problem within the world that we didn't know about from the first issue. So I think it's still just a little bit of more of a setup, bridging some things and bringing some things together. But I think ultimately it's on the right path. And as you're saying, I'm glad to hear that you're still in it. So very good. Glad to hear. So yeah, let's see. Liking the content here, brother. This becoming one of my favorite channels. Oh my gosh, back issue, Paulie, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the kind words. I really mean that, man. I hope you guys can tell I love this stuff. This is why I do what I do. It's just it's a passion for the comics. It's a passion for the community and just talking comics with all of you. So I appreciate that, man. Really do. Just a little podcast says Boom Studios is making nothing but gold. I agree. It's been really good stuff. Yeah, Louis says nailed it. Yeah, so I think that yeah, the issue, you know, I'm obviously, you know, I'm all in. I'm sticking with it. So, Rod, I have a good channel. Yeah, dude. Yo, if you guys are not following just the Rican and his comics, go follow Rod. And the rest of the Tag Team Thursday crew, who I put in the information in the description below. Make sure you're following everybody. And yeah, this is every Thursday. Starts off at 6:30 over on Just the Rican and his comics channel. Jason here saying so many titles start at a 5-issue mini, so let's hope for it ongoing. Yeah, so I guess is that the idea? Like they give it this shot of like 5 issues, and if it's successful, then they continue it, like a pilot, I guess we can call it, right? I guess maybe that's how you can lay it out. So, but I've noticed that. I've definitely noticed that. I think of like We Live, right? Like Aftershock doing Aftershock in general. They've been doing a lot of things that are only 5-issue sets, and then who knows? It's been so fresh that hopefully they continue some of these because some of them have just been amazing. Like Shadow Doctor and like Silver City, who I just talked to, Olivia Cortero Briggs, the writer from Silver City. If you guys missed that, it's on my channel. I interviewed her on Monday, and man, that was incredible. That was for oops, sorry, I just hit the microphone. That was for this book right here. So if you guys missed that interview, man, what a terrific interview. Olivia Cortero Briggs, the writer, she is amazing and just so awesome. The stories that she shared, how she came across this book, how she wrote this book was a really interesting story that she had to share. So I won't tell the story here, but definitely go check out the replay for that. Let's see. I saw one other thing I wanted to highlight, and then I missed it. Dang it. Matt Wood saying the indie books seem to start with miniseries, then go from there. That's what I was saying before. Yes. So they go from there if they're successful. Yeah. So like I was saying before, We Live, which I showed this off earlier, but I bought the trade and I just loved this book. Loved it. And I hope, I mean, it clearly the way it ends, they are coming up with more stuff. I mean, the way it ends, it's like a whole other book, and it's just amazing. So I do recommend checking out this book right here. I talked about it on my channel earlier, but We Live. This is the trade. It also has a soundtrack that that you can listen to while you're reading the book. So you can see these little scanners down here in my pinky. And if you scan that, there's a little soundtrack that pops up to listen to the book or to the music while you're reading those few pages. It's really cool. So let's see. We also had in here Fuzzy hanging out back again. That's what I'm talking about, man. Fuzzy was here earlier today as well for my premiered video, my top 10 picks of the week. So appreciate you, my friend. And Mastodon hanging out with us as well. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, you guys, hey, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I appreciate you guys taking the time. Just a quick reminder, this Saturday is going to be with Jeremy from Sparks Comics, who was just in the chat before. We're going to be interviewing him on his origin story for Comic Collector Origins. So make sure you swing by the channel this Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern time. And then after that, I'll actually be jumping over to Victoria's channel over on Read Across the Stars, and I will be talking with her as we are doing a book club reading for Full Metal Alchemist. So that's going to be my first manga that I'm diving into. But yeah, really excited to talk some more books with Victoria. So make sure you check that out. That's also on Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern. So some back-to-back streaming as I normally do. So and then lastly, before I get out of here, I will be over on JP Collects channel tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern in about an hour. So make sure you guys swing by for that as well. I'll be talking with him, John's Comics with Kids, and Comic Man Andy as we break down Ascender volume 2 and 3, which has just been incredible stuff. Really enjoying that. That's great stuff there. So Jeff Lemire and Dustin Wynn. Yeah, so I think other than that, I saw who else we see in here. We got White Shadow Coffee and Comics. What's going on? And yeah, if Sheena's saying F still got to read that before Saturday. Yeah, get on that manga. Got to get on that manga. So we'll see. What's going on, Bricks? I see Bricks in the house. Appreciate all you guys. I know there was another comment here and I missed it, and I apologize. There was something else I wanted to highlight here. scrolling up through the chat really quick. But I think I lost it. I think I lost. Yeah, no, I lost it. All right. Well, anyways, I appreciate all you guys hanging out. Make sure that you are subbed up to the Tag Team Thursday crew. All the information is in the description below. And hopefully I'll see you guys Saturday for one of the 2 streaming shows. And if not, appreciate you catching the rewind. And if you're watching this right now on the rewind, thank you so much for taking that time to do so. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys